Welcome everyone to our lesson on polygons in the coordinate plane. As the title suggests, we are going to be creating polygons in the coordinate plane. Now today we're just going to focus on quadrant 1 with positive x's and positive y's, so it should go pretty quickly. This example shows us that we have vertices. Remember, those are corners of a polygon. So vertices of a quadrilateral. So this polygon is a quad, means four lateral sides, so four-sided polygon. And it gives us the point. So point A is at 2, 4, B is at 3, 9, C is at 7, 8, and D is at 8, 1. Now remember, when we have ordered pairs, the first value tells us the x coordinate and the second value tells us the y coordinate. So when we're plotting 2, 4, that means we're going to go in the x direction 2 units, and then we're going to go in the y direction 4 units, and that is our point. Right, and you can see 3, 9, 7, 8, and 8, 1. So let's go ahead and look at an example where we can go ahead and plot some points. So in this example, we're asked to plot the points, find the perimeter, and the area. So we have F. Point F is at 1, 6. Remember, first value is the x, second value is the y. We are dealing with just quadrant 1 for this. And notice there are half units available. So depending on the graph paper you're using, or if you're using something online, always make sure that you're using the correct units. See if there's half units. See if the values go up by 2 or 5, or in this case, half units. All right, so for 1, 6, we go in the x direction to the right 1, then we go in the y direction vertically up to 6, and that's point F is at 1, 6. Now let's do 7, 6, so in the x direction 7, in the y direction 6, so then we have 7, 6 is point G. Point H is at 7, 2, x7, y2, so that's our point H. And then finally point J is at 1, 2, so in the x direction 1, in the y direction 2, and that is our point. All right, now you can see that this does create a polygon, a specific polygon. This one is a rectangle. So let me go ahead and connect these to make our rectangle. All right, now we're asked to find the perimeter and the area of this. So let's start off with the perimeter. So the perimeter, we're just going to add the sides. We're going to add the 2 bases, and we're going to add the 2 heights. So we have to figure out what those are. So for a rectangle, since all of these are 90-degree angles, we can use any side for the base and any side for the height. So I'm just going to use the bottom here for the base. And I see that we are going from, so you can use the x-axis as a number line. So we're going from 1 in the x direction to 7 in the x direction. So how far is it? Now if we look at the height, so we'll do the height. We're going from 2 units to 6 units. So from 2 units to 6 units, that's 4 units. All right, so now we can substitute in for the base and height. So we have the base of 6. We have that twice because we have 2 sides with 6 units. And then we can substitute in 4 for h because we have 2 sides with 4 units. And adding that together, we end up with 20 units. Notice for perimeter, we're not squaring the units because we are just adding up the dimensions. Let's go ahead and do the area of this rectangle. So the area is the base times the height. So the base is 6, the height is 4, and 6 times 4 is 24. And this time we are finding the area via multiplication, so we have square units. And there you have the perimeter and the area. All right, so I'm going to let you go ahead and do a few on your own. So this first on your own, after you plot the points, you should end up with a rectangle. Okay, so if you don't end up with a rectangle, you made a mistake somewhere. So go ahead and plot the points, create your rectangle, find the base and height and then use it for the perimeter and area. All right, so for this one, the base is 4, the height is 5, so the perimeter is 18 units. And then for the area, 4 times 5 is 20 square units. All right, this next on your own, you can see is 3 points. So if we're doing 3 points, we're going to end up with a triangle. Notice this one asks you to find the area, not the perimeter. So just worry about the perimeter. So after you plot the points and make your triangle, again, one of the sides needs to be the base, and then the height needs to be at a 90-degree angle perpendicular to the base. The height does not need to be a side. So go ahead and give that a try. All right, so after plotting, your triangle looks like this with a base of 5, a height of 7. So base times height, 5 times 7 is 35, divided by 2, and that gives us 17 and 5/10 or 17.5 square units for the area. All right, one last one here. All right, so you can tell by this formula that this polygon will be a trapezoid. Again, find the area, not the perimeter. And you'll notice that this trapezoid has a right angle built into it. So you can actually use the base as the bottom, and then the height can be the side that makes the right angle. All right, so give that one a try. All right, so here's our trapezoid. And obviously trapezoids have 2 bases. So here I would label base 1 at the top as 4 units because we're going from 1 to 5. And then base 2 is 6 units because we're going from 1 to 7. And then the height, I just use this side because it is perpendicular to our bases. It's perpendicular to both bases. And the height goes from 2 to 6 units, so that's 4 units. So adding the bases gives us 10, multiplying by the height times 4 over 2. We can simplify the 4 and the 2. And we get 20 square units. All right, that'll do it for today's lesson.